Awesome. So that's confirmed. Uh, Let me introduce Dr. Finch to you. And how do I do that? How do you introduce somebody you talk to probably almost on a weekly basis and is almost like a mentor, is an advisor, and at the same time inspires you. So I got to know Dr. Finch because of the DEIB work at ICF as a volunteer leader and the space that she's created along with Jen, who's on the call, and the rest of the team is phenomenal. We keep posting more of those details on chat because those are benefits for ICF members through the session. Uh, Dr. Aikyna Finch is a passionate DIB leader, educator, strategist, committed to creating inclusive spaces where everyone feels seen, heard, and valued. As Vice President of DIB for the International Coaching Federation, she leads global initiatives that champion equity and belonging. With a doctorate of management and advanced degrees in technology and marketing, Dr. Finch merges data driven strategy with a human centered leadership style. She's also a TEDx speaker, author, and a certified coach. She's PCC. Through her vision, voice, and advocacy, Dr. Finch empowers individuals and organizations to transform DIB from intention into impactful and lasting action. Thank you for bringing all that energy into our session. I'm going to hand it over to you. And to our audience, I'm sure you're going to have a valuable session. Have fun.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you so much. And let us begin. So, welcome to our session From Gaps to Bridges, DIB for Multi Generational Workforce. This is very, very important because, believe it or not, we are now working with 5 different generations in the workforce right now. And as we know, that can cause, some different thought patterns and different things going on. And so, us as coaches, we have a way to help bridge those gaps and bring people together. Now, I know, how does that sit with you to know that you have the power to assist and to guide people to come together when they may not understand all by themselves? How does that feel as a coach? To know that you can play a part in that in the workforce and bring that multi-generational workforce together through our sessions, through conversation, through group coaching. It's just a powerful feeling, at least to me. When, before I became all the things, I loved working with group coaching in multi generations. So this is truly near and dear to my heart. I see some y'all talking to me. Yes, it feels good to play a role. And then when you see them flourish, it's just beautiful, right? So let us talk about this. So, first and foremost, some of you know me, some of you do not. I don't assume, so I'm going to go ahead and do the things. So, my career started in technology. I was a technology influencer, social media. I became a social media coach. I actually did my TED talk on AI and social media. So amazing that I mixed my 2 favorite things together, right? Which eventually made me become a DIB executive, the person I am today. I am also a educator. Uh, I teach in 5 different schools, believe it or not. So my biggest achievement, business, marketing, coaching, um, education, the whole 9 yards. So love, love, love it. Content creator, love making videos and educating the people about coaching and DIB and the things. And then, of course, I'm an author and blogger. And feel free to connect with me. I do love to know the coaches, and I want to hear about your DIB journeys. So here's our agenda. Yes, we don't want the regular old boring one. We have to have flair, right? And so we're going to talk about generational landscape with a DIB lens. Then we're going to talk about tools for inclusion, How many of you are already using tools for inclusion in your coaching already? So I wonder if y'all can think about some of the things that I'm going to come up with. Y'all can get the wheels turning. Okay. Yes, I see your head nodding, Craig. All right, I see you. And then we're going to go into a nice 20-minute breakout session. We're going to discuss for 10 minutes and then we're going to debrief for 10 minutes because we know coaches, we learn best by sharing and communication, right? Getting in there and working with the problem. So I have 4 scenarios. Each group is going to have their different scenarios. So when we come back to debrief, we're going to hear a little bit of all the things so we can all grow from different scenarios that we may have in the workplace. And then, of course, we're going to do a small little action plan. And then we're going to close this thing out. So I can turn it back over to Rainu, right? Because, y'all want to hear from her because she's awesome. All right. So now let's get it. So, what are we going to be doing today? We're going to recognize, yes, there we go. We're going to recognize unique values, strengths, and needs of each generation. Then we're going to be able to identify biases, stereotypes, and equity gaps that can impact belonging because we know how important belonging is in coaching. Yes? And then we want to apply inclusive coaching strategies for cross-generational success. So, out of number 1, number 2, and number 3, put it in the chat. Which one are y'all more interested in hearing about? Which one did y'all come to hear about? Number 1, number 2, number 3. Let me see where I'm gauged. Okay. 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 I see some. 1 and 3. 1 and 3. Okay. All right. Very good. All the above. Okay. Gosh. All the above. I love that. Fire. Yes, just let's nothing to it but to do it, right? Yes. All of them. Come on now. All right. Beautiful. That's what I'm saying. So we come in here with a space of expectation to learn, right? That's what I'm building right now. Expectation to learn. So that means that y'all are going to pour into me just like I'm going to pour into you, right? Right? I'm going to see chat. I'm going to see action. Yes, yes, yes. Okay. All right. Yes. That is what I'm looking for. Ah, wonderful. So, these are some key terms that we're going to talk about today. And the reason why I put these on the screen are because these are the way that ICF uh, puts these down and the meanings for them per ICF. So diversity, according to the Society of Human Resource Management, diversity is the collective mixture of differences and similarities. Equity, we're going to be providing resources to ensure everyone has access to the same resources and opportunities. Inclusion, an environment where acts are intentional and deliberate to embrace. Let that sit. When you are intentional and deliberate to make sure that you're embracing the thing and embracing everybody in it. That felt good in my coaching spirit. Yes, yes, yes. And then belonging, a feeling of being valued, being oneself without judgment. That's a core competency. We don't judge, right? Unjudgmental. Yes. So, and then finally, our generational diversity, differences across age cohorts, shaping work styles. So, how we feel and what we value, how does that shape how we work? Think about that. How does your values shape how you work? How do your values shape how you coach, how you show up? I want y'all just think about that as we go through this, because I want to see at the end how that's shaping. What did y'all realize? What revelations came up? Okay, y'all gonna use that in the breakout room, so I want y'all to keep that there. All right. All righty. So now we're getting ready to break into the 5 different areas of the workforce. So first off, we have traditionalists. And as you can see, they go to 1945. Duty driven, they value loyalty and stability. They respect hierarchy and authority. And they prefer formal communication and clear structure. Do we know any traditionalists? Do we have any traditionalists in the room? We could put a one. So we're gonna, if you're a traditionalist, you're a one. And so an example of what they would do, they value recognition for their long service and their commitment. They've worked a long time and they value that recognition because they gave that commitment. Okay? Now we got our baby boomers. So I have a baby boomer that I live with, and this is spot on for her. I.e. my mother. And so motivated by achievement and recognition, strong teamwork orientation, prefers face-to-face or phone communication, cannot stand a bot, cannot stand a chat, cannot. Please put me on the telephone with a human. So, yes. And so, an example of this, appreciate visual signs of recognition like awards and titles. And so, do we have any boomers in here? If you're a boomer, you're two. Okay. Now we have the X's. I am an X. I'm a low X, but I'm still an X, nevertheless. But I do have millennial tendencies, and we're going to talk about that. Sometimes you have, you're in one, but you hang around with the other, so you tend to have some of their tendencies too. So they do cross. You do cross, so it's okay. So independent, resourceful, and value autonomy. Yes, yes, and yes. At least this one right here. Yes, yes, and yes. Seek work-life balance. Yes. Skeptical of micromanagement. Yes, yes, and yes. So an example for exes, they thrive when you give them freedom to own their own projects, meaning give it to me and leave me alone. Give it to me and let me go. Okay. You know, so if we have any Xers, we are threes. Okay. A strong three. All right, Tara. A strong three. I feel it. I feel it. I love that. Yes. Okay. So I see some threes popping up. Yes, yes. Now, millennials. They go all the way from 81 to 96. Purpose driven, collaborative, feedback focused. They want to know what they're doing. And they rather know it sooner than later. They want to know how things work, how they went. Did they resonate? Value flexibility and growth opportunities. They don't like being stagnant. It needs to be like this. They would prefer it if they were growing like this at all times. Okay. Tech savvy, preferred digital communication. This is their best friend. This is their best friend. Okay. And so we are always that right there is one of my crossovers. That is my best friend too. I'm a social media lover. I'm a tech girl. So that is, yes. So an example of that, appreciate regular feedback and mentorship opportunities. They want to learn. They love to absorb. They love to absorb. And uh and then they also want to see what the flip side of it will be. This is the original. They're ready to try the remix all the time because they want to see if there's other ways to do it than that one way. Okay, who's relating? Who's my fours? Who's my fours? No fours yet. Okay. I know it's got to be a four. Okay, I'm finna say I know it's got to be a four up in here. Yes. And finally, our generational Z. And we're going to 2012. All right. So digital natives, entrepreneur mindset, they don't necessarily need to go to school. They see that these people are popping up businesses left and right. You sit up there and you get on YouTube and boom, there's a business. I'm monetizing my YouTube channel. I just sit and talk all day. I don't got to go to work. you know, they are entrepreneur mindset. That is their work compared to somebody's a boomer. Why are you sitting at home all day? Why don't you have a job? You know, yes, my ex versus my boomer who lives in my house has said that to me numerous times. Why don't you go to work? I said, I do go to work. I just don't have to leave the house to go to work. There's a difference. So, yes. So they love that. Prioritizes authenticity, inclusion, and mental health. This is very important to them. We have been doing a campaign for well-being in ICF. You've been seeing that from TLI, which is the Thought Leadership Institute. That is big. They value this. They value their mental health. They're not working themselves to the bone like we other generations may have been taught. They value that. And that's important. They want to be included and they want you to be real with them. They believe in that authenticity. They can smell it from a mile away. Yes. So I know some of y'all who have coached Z's before know where I'm going with this, right? Okay. And they expect flexible schedules and technology integration. AI is their best friend. They love it. Love, love, love it. It is a normal everyday thing to have technology help them do. But I'm gonna say, I say X's and millennials like that AI too. My boomers are getting into it too. But that's their normal day. Like have to have that technology integration. So they prefer instant communication such as Slack or Teams. Or in our case, WhatsApp. I hear that y'all have a booming WhatsApp group. So, I'm like, So, I know that our millennials and our Z's are popping in that group, right? Okay. So, y'all uh Renew had me like low key jealous that I wasn't in the WhatsApp group. I was like, what? I need to get up in this WhatsApp group. I told her she could invite me if she wants. So But that is the kind of feel that they need. They need that inclusion. They need that instant communication because things are happening all the time. They don't want to be left out, right? Okay. And Jen says she wants to be in the WhatsApp group too. All right. So, believe it or not, I see we got a little bit of mix of a little piece of some of these in here. So let's talk about how we can work with our as coaches with these. So first off, I came up with generation awareness map. Who has heard of a generation awareness map? Also, I'm teaching you something new. Oh, yes. Love it. I see you, Craig. There you go. All right. So basically, what it is everybody in the group will come together and write down their values, their motivators, and their preferred work style. Okay. And they'll write it down and they'll put it all in their categories. And then we will go through and map out the similarities and the differences. And from the similarities and differences, we come together to find out what is going to make a cohesive work environment for all that's on the team. Because we know we're probably going to have some threes, some fours, some fives, or some twos, some threes, some fours, oh, 2, 4, 8, I mean, five, whatever, however it goes, everybody needs to be included, valued, and seen, right? So this map shows this is what I need to feel that way, to feel that belonging. And this is what number 2 needs. And this is what number 3 needs. And then they come together and they map it out. So from mapping, a Gen Z might find out that they need autonomy, whereas the millennial needs collaboration. So sometimes we have to respect that the X needs to be able to own their project. Yet they can reach out to the millennial for some collaboration. Okay. So everybody can own their projects, but they can reach out and ask for assistance. Bring in other people, but at the end of the day, you're still owning your project, but you are in, having the inclusion. Is that making sense to everybody? Do y'all see how y'all could use that in your coaching? Yes? Okay, good. Good. And to be able to have that on paper, they say write the vision, make it plain. Okay? To have it on the paper, this is what you said you needed. And as a leader, that leader can then take that paper and what? Tailor their sessions to that paper to make sure that that person is belonging and make sure that that person is receiving what resonates with them when they're getting that quality feedback. Making sense? Yes? Okay. Good stuff. So who thinks they could use the generation awareness map in their coaching with their clients? All right, Craig, I see you. I see you. Yes, put that hand up. Yes, I love it. And y'all can, yes, yes, yes. Okay, I see you, Terry. I see you, Aim. Okay, Debbie. Come on, Debbie. All right, I see you. All right. Yes. Oh, y'all coming through. I can't even say I'm fast enough. Come on now. I see you though. I see you. All right. So now tool number two, inclusive communication playbook. How important is that for us as a coach? Let's just think about that. That inclusive communication with everything that's going on in the world right now. How important is that we use inclusive language in all that we do in the workplace? Okay. I see some of us have our she, hers on there, or our him, he, hims on there. That's inclusive language. Okay. That's an example of inclusive language. Okay, very important, right? And it guides us when we use email, chat, and meetings. That is where a lot of friction happens in the workplace, right? Through an email, through a chat, and at a meeting. Okay. Is there any place else that a lot of it happens? But in those three areas is usually where most of the conflict happens, right? Let's call a spade, right? So we need to know how to say the words in an inclusive manner because, you know, we don't know what's going to trigger the other person. And as coaches, we're very sensitive to that. Yes. Yes. Okay, Craig. Yes, good point. It's challenging being inclusive without calling it inclusion. And see, yes. And that's why some places we can't do that right now. That's fair. That's fair. But we can say, I use my he, him pronouns. I use my she, her pronouns. We can say that. Or we make sure we're looking on the screen and we address them as she. Oh, I see that you use your he, him pronouns. You know, we don't have to say inclusion to say that. We can say, oh, I see you use your he, him pronouns. I'll know to address you in that manner. That's inclusion. That right there. Thank you for that, Craig. Yes, that gave me spirit right there. Yes, yes. Yes, we need to talk about being respectful. Yes, yes, and yes. And then this encourages curiosity-based, non-ageist language. You know, stuff like, oh, you young folks, y'all always doing this. Oh, y'all always got something to say. Or da 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 da. No. We can say, I would like to hear your approach. Thank you so much for adding that to the conversation. And now this is my take on that. Am I on the right track? Am I understanding you? That's inclusive language. Now, we may be frustrated as all get out. I'm here to be real. Okay? But thank you for your point of view. I did hear that. I receive it. And this is my take from that. Am I understanding you? How many of us have used that? And has that diffused the conversation some bits? Yes, I have. Okay, very good. Very good. Oh, and I'm loving the conversation. Yes, 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 yes. And so we need to, what are other ways that we can replace the ageist language? You know, some people don't like seasoned or senior, expert. Yes, professional. Yes. Yes, avoid yes, avoid parent and child. Yes, definitely. Tenured. Yes, yes. You speaking to my educator. Yes. What else? Okay. Body language. Yes. Come on, Leila. Layla. Yes. Yes. Body language, that is so important. When you don't say nothing, you are saying something, especially when you do. We know what that is. We know what that is. Or better yet, when you do this one, this one, this gets me. Come on now. We know what you're saying. Because yes, we have body language even on Zoom, right? Because that's now our new mechanism of communication. That's our new meeting center. Slack, Teams, all of those things. We know what that is. It's a difference for you. I'll be right back. I need to go off camera versus all right. Yes. Oh, I like this word, knowledgeable. Very good. Very, very good. Yes. The avoid the parent and child language. Sometimes, as a they use the word, we're going to use the terminology here, late career and early career. Okay. Sometimes our late career will speak to the early career in a parent tone. And it's not meant to be any kind of way, but then they are shocked when the person mentions it because it's just something that they had always come up with. But guess what? I rather receive it before the person gets mad about it. Bring it to my attention so that I can correct before it becomes a problem. So let us think about our inclusive language. So, does anybody think that they're going to be able to use this inclusive communication playbook in their coaching? Okay, I see you. I see you. Yes, okay, I see you, Dominique. Nice to see you. It's probably Dominic, right? Yes, that's probably the correct terminology. I apologize. So then I love this because this is something that y'all can pass out to your clients. Ways to be inclusive in a meeting, ways to be inclusive on email, way to be inclusive in chat, especially when you can't say the word inclusive or inclusion. So thank you for that. And keep it coming too. Keep your questions coming because Renew is checking this out for me and going to make sure that I don't miss anything. All right. So now we have tool 3, reverse mentoring framework. Yummy. This is one of my favorites because guess what? It helps share across the generations. Sometimes a, a boomer, an X, even a millennial. So we're going to say a 2, a 3, or 4. Okay. That's why I gave everybody the numbers. Let's say a 2 is really stuck on some software and they see the 4 or the 5 killing the game at it. And they may be scared to ask for the help. But if the four sees that they're struggling and they say they want to learn about networking skills, they could go over there and say, hey, I would really like some help with my networking. And in exchange, I would like to teach you about this new software we're working with. Would that work for you? And that would be such a relief to our two, right? Because they didn't have to come out and say, I don't know it. And then they get to share what they do know. And this is a wonderful way to really build that communication and space in our group coaching. Yes? Yes. Thank you for the energy. I appreciate the Craig. And so this is, some people just are, they don't feel good about saying they need help. Because especially the ones that want autonomy or they value professional communication and all that, how are they going to write that up to say I need help in their work language? Whereas if they're pouring into a 4 or 5, and then they're getting those extra tips on the side too, because remember, they value their commitment. So, you've been so wonderful in our community that I want to come over and help you with your tech problem that you've been having. And feel free to let me know anytime you're having that tech problem so that we can make sure that you're up and abreast. Does that make sense? Do y'all see how that reverse mentoring could go? How many of y'all are already reverse mentoring? Okay, okay, very good. And how many of y'all are using this in your coaching? Oh, I see the wheels turning. Am I using this in my coaching? Could I be using it in my coaching? Should I be using it in my coaching? The answer is yes. Especially with groups, because if you're doing group or team coaching, especially if it's a team, they're probably going to be working with each other after you leave. So you're giving them tools in order to be able to build more after you're gone. Because a sign of a true coach is that you go in and you work, you work your magic, and then you give them tools to be able to live without you, right? Now, yes, we would love to have a whole year's worth of great coaching fun, but at the end of the day, that's a blip in their time continuum, and they need to be able to have coaching tools to be able to continue coping without you. That's a sign of a great coach, right? So, is this one of those that you're going to use? Can you see yourself using it? Oh, y'all already answered me. All right, I see you. Oh, look at that. You as your nieces and nephews. I like that. That is so wonderful. And they probably feel so excited that they get to help their aunt. That's so great. I know, you know, I love that too. Yes. Yes. And see, and y'all see the chat at the bottom there with Jennifer Costa. She is helping me out here. This is my engagement manager. Uh, adore her dearly. She's a wonderful human being. And she's gonna make sure y'all have all that information throughout. Now, our last tool that we're going to talk about today, succession planning matrix. So I understand that there are a lot of small businesses in the Pune area and beyond, and India in general, and probably in other spaces too. Um, we got to be planning for succession. Okay. And I know that our ones and our twos are not really interested in saying, hey, I'm not gonna be here. Don't need that. I need to pass this goodness on. But we have to have a succession plan to be fruitful. We got to keep that energy flowing. We got to keep those juices flowing. We got to keep those ideas flowing. Right? So how do we do that? Ones, twos, even threes, right? We need to go find us a 4 and a 5 to pour our knowledge into. How does that benefit us to be like this with our knowledge? How does that benefit us? How many, I mean, and even as coaches, how many coaches, new coaches coming into the ranks right now, need what we got in our fists? We should be like this. Come share. Let me help you. Because I've been through so much. I grew my practice. I learned how to do this networking. I learned how to market myself. Why shouldn't I help you coming up to make it easier road for you? So how many of us are standing like these? How many of us got our hands open, ready to help our next coach? Yes, I see your hands. Yes. And so, yay. I love that. I love that. So we have to teach people from fist to hand, fist to open hand. That is what we're teaching here in succession planning. And a lot of times they're like, but I don't want to give up my stuff. I don't want to do that. They're not ready yet. But they can't get ready if you don't give them the stuff. They'll be forever not ready because you're not giving them the stuff. You're not giving them the juice. Okay? So the example that they give is a late career employee finds a early career mentee to transfer their knowledge to. But even still, it could be just our team in general, because you could have somebody who is a late career that's getting ready to leave, has been there since the inception, and they are like this, but you getting ready to go in 2 weeks. How helpful is that? How is this going to be sustainable for your business if you're like this and you're gone in 2 weeks? What are you asking them to do? Call you back? No, you got to go. It's your time to go. So how do you take them from here to here? I want you to think about that, coaches. That's a real generational thing that happens. That's real. They're so used to running it and being there and being the person that when it's time for them to go, that's a transitional shift. That's a letting go of identity. So you need to take time with them because they are letting go of one identity and moving into their next. Yet, we also need to get them in a from fist to hand posture. That's what Success in Planning Matrix does. How many of y'all are using that in your coaching right now? Or can see yourself using it? And feel free to use all of these terminologies that I'm using if it resonates with you, because it might resonate with another client. Yes? Okay. All right. Yes, very important. I see y'all talking to me. Love that framing. Thank you, Lisa. I appreciate it. All right. So, are we ready? Are y'all ready to talk? Because I've been talking to y'all a lot. Now, y'all ready to talk back? Y'all ready to tell me what y'all learned? Are y'all quiet on me? Y'all ain't ready? Okay, well, then I need to go back into these slides. No, I'm being silly. All right, let's go. That's right. Let's go. All right. So, welcome to the breakout sessions. And Sherpa, we're going to have 20 minutes, 10 minutes for this part. Okay, so I'm going to go through the different breakouts. So she's going to put y'all in different breakout sessions, in different breakout rooms. So one of you will talk about one of these 4 areas, and then we're going to round them out. you know. So we have more. We'll drop which one you're talking about in the breakout room. Okay. So the first one is a Gen X supervisor gives annual performance appraisals, but the millennials and the Gen Z employees rather have frequent feedback. The X thinks one time I need to only tell you how you're doing one time a year. But the millennial Z, like, I want to know what I'm doing all the time. How does that work? The Gen Z requests flexible start times. The boomer boss insists on a 9 to 5, and this is just a 9 to 5 in office presence. And then the morale drops. Okay. We have a millennial manager that introduces a new project management tool. The traditionalists and the boomers are struggling, and they're resisting the adoption, fearing loss of productivity. And then the final one is a boomer employee feels overlooked for a leadership position in favor of a younger millennial colleague. Resentment grows and affects the team dynamic. Okay. So this is what you're going to do in your groups, whichever scenario. You know what? Honestly, I'm going to let you pick the scenario that y'all want to do, because I think that'll be more beneficial to you. We're going to share these out into the breakout room so you'll be able to pick it. Now, this is what I want for you to do. I want y'all to identify the values and needs of both sides. And I want you to spot the biases and equity issues. Okay. And then what you're going to bring back to the table is a solution that's inclusive, that balances productivity, flexibility, and belonging, that will make it sustainable for all. So y'all going to come together with a solution to fix those problems that is flexible, productive, and fosters belonging. Can we do it? Okay. So send us off for 10 minutes, my friend.
Yes, so we're ready. If you could just show the previous slide and people could take a screenshot if
Okay.
needed, so then they can discuss.
Oh, I can share it into the breakout room.
You'll be doing that, sure. And we open the rooms for 10 minutes, right?
Yes.
Okay, so I'm opening breakout rooms. There you go.
Are we recording right now?
Yes. Do you,
Pause.
do you
We
want to
probably don't
pause?
need to record this.
And especially if there are women in the rooms. So certainly 10 minutes is not good enough.
Well, next time I'll remember, let's make it 15. Yeah, that was a learning lesson. We'll do 15. But y'all get to do more debrief this way. So now, group 1, we had Zen, Will Lee. So everybody in Will Lee's group. Did y'all want to share it with us?
Okay, thank you. Yeah. Yeah, our group, we talk about the scenario 3, right? Yeah. I think our discussion is focused on the value because those people different generation. So first understand their value, the decision-making process. For this scenario, we suggest that the millennial manager should have a discussion before this meeting with the traditional and boomer people because with boomer people, they love face-to-face communication, but the millennial people are tech savvy. So, and also they love their like purpose driven and also they appreciate regular feedback. So this is a different working style. So important thing that for this kind of important meeting, it's better to have like a pre meeting before that, and then they can know each other what we want to do, why we should do that. Because when people understand why, then they can find their motivation, even though they live in different ages. But the purpose just we want to get the company's project done. So we need to find the common points rather than the differences. So that's why for my perspective. So anybody in our group, you are welcome to add anything you think. Thank you.
I want to thank Lee for summarizing it so beautifully. Although we were actually contemplating on situations because boomers tend to be preferring in person. That means they really want to see people's face. So what if this would have been a virtual and probably folks are in different regions? Then one of the recommendation that showed up was the fact that, a message would have been sent to all of them before the meeting and sort of educating them beforehand that this is what you might be expecting during the meeting or, the purpose of letting them being introduced with the new tool and basically articulating and highlighting what is in it for them, what is it going to be supporting them when they adapt to the new project management tool, so that at least some amount of the fear that they have is being addressed, and also welcoming them with their questions before the meeting actually held. So basically looking after the language nuance is one of the recommendation that was being spoken about in our group. Did I miss anything, folks?
No, I think you summarized all what we have discussed, and I just really would like to add as well that here in this situation, in situation 3, the change and the transformation could also be understood by all the generations, which is a key importance from learning perspective and working and collaborating and co-creating something together. And that can be handled. So our key message was to have an open communication, an open understanding, not fear to ask, rather be brave and ask your questions to understand that the change is happening, a new project management tool is being introduced, and everybody will be involved in it. And let's be positive on that and learn from that for a better understanding perspective. Thank you.
Thank you. I love how y'all all came together. So lovely and collaborative. That's what I love, collaboration. All righty. Group 2. So I do believe we had Tina R and Christina P. That group.
Hello, this is Christina. I can try to summarize, and I will also invite my colleagues to add about our discussion. We chose scenario 2, and with a Gen Z employee requesting flexible starting time, and the boomer manager insisting on a strict schedule. We thought about inviting these two to have a generational awareness map that you talked about, and basically present their values and their perspectives. We realized that they might have the same values like flexibility, but different values, different views about what flexibility is about, why is important, what it means. And then following this sharing, we think that their discussion will actually lead to overcoming the moral dip, because then we think that this discussion will lead for them to show that they respect each other, and basically they share a common ground about promoting productivity and flexibility, but in a different way. And this could be a ground for imagining a solution. And yes, I would like to invite Radhika and Tina to add. I probably missed something from what we discussed, but yeah, this is what I can summarize now. Thank you.
Thanks, Christina. I think what we were also looking at is, before we get into the solution, we get into, what it really means from each one's point of view, so that then the gaps can be addressed. A lot of times the expectations that come in between is actually the real gap. So if you're able to understand, what a Gen Z or what a millennium is actually looking for and what it really means for them, then it's, it's more easy to be more inclusive. So we thought, let's go one step back rather than going 2 steps forward. And that's where the whole thought process built from. So that's where we were. Yeah.
I love it. Anyone else?
Yeah, so Christina and Tina have covered all of it, but just adding to another thing. So this also brings around the awareness of there may be differences in values, but how you acknowledge them and then build up on that and become inclusive in addressing the ultimate goal becomes more clear. So it's not enforced, but it's encompassed, and you kind of embrace it and make it happen. So there is more awareness about each value system, and you respect that also. That was the bottom line that we were trying to get to.
Beautiful.
Hi, this is Pramila here. Friends, I'm sorry I could join the session only halfway through and I directly went into the breakout room. But I also wanted to put forward to the team that, we are in this room, we're trying to look at all these scenarios and topics. Would it help for us to have the Gen Z or the millennials in these kind of conversations and hear from them if this is the collective objective of the organization? How would they suggest that we put it across to their generation? Maybe we will get a perspective from them as well in terms of what are their concerns, how they look at it, and we can collectively find a win-win way of navigating these scenarios.
Very good. Very good. That is another way to bring it in, hey, because they could probably be the trainers for the boomers. And then we could actually use the tool, what? Our reverse mentoring. Yes. So that would be awesome. Thank you for that. That was awesome.
Yeah, thank you.
Yes. Group 2, are we solid? Are we complete? That's what I use. Are we complete? I see you.
Yes, yes.
Wonderful. Thank you. Great coverage. And then we have group 3, which is Clifford, Terry, and I would like to know how to say this name. Surya? I'm saying it wrong.
Yes, that's correct. You pronounced it correctly.
I'm very sensitive. My name is Aikyna, so I want to make sure I said it correctly. Yes. So please start. Yes.
Yeah, so I already mentioned it in the chat. We also discussed about productivity issues for the boomer manager and having the employees sit face to face so he can, monitor their productivity. However, if the Gen Z employee is able to convince the manager that if we can use these new age digital tools and teach him about how their weekly reports or daily reports can be monitored and get his buy-in, then yes, there is a solution. He doesn't have to feel that the people are not being productive if they're away from office in a virtual setting. In fact, we had Oksana in my team, and this is a real case scenario in her company as well, where during pandemic they actually faced this situation, but over a period of time, in the months, their boomer CEO was able to get convinced that people are not wasting time and they are actually being productive. So most of the points that were said by the group earlier to us, since we chose the same topic, have been covered. And like minds think alike, even we came up with the solution of the tool that we could use would be the generational map, understanding their values, what are their working styles, and then coming together to get a common solution which is inclusive and sustainable. Clifford and Terry, if I've missed something out, please do add. Thank you.
No, I just wanted to point out what you said about pointing out that these are 3 generations apart. So that was, this isn't just like, you know, a generation next to each other. These are 3 generations apart. They've experienced way different things, you know, in their history, in their experiences, in their worldview, and all of that matters. And also, you know, we had pointed out and talked about the fact that COVID showed a lot of us that we could get a lot done when we had the right tools, even if we weren't face to face. And so those would be the only things I add, because group 2 did a phenomenal job. You know, they pretty much said everything that we said.
Good. And I see we have 4 more groups. Did anyone do scenario 1? Okay, no?
I can see Craig.
Yeah, we did. Group 5 did.
Okay, well, come on,
We
Craig.
couldn't make up our mind between 1 and 4, but we went 1, and we were basically sort of thinking about the poor overloaded supervisor, maybe with a million things to do, and the thought of giving a ton of feedback felt maybe a little overwhelming. But we were also recognizing that they may not understand the sort of the motivating effect that it can have to give more frequent feedback, and how that might overcome the disengagement that was described. And so we had a couple of ideas, one around maybe facilitating informal feedback rather than just the formal sort of cyclical feedback that happens in the performance reviews, and also maybe enabling the Gen Z and millennials to provide peer feedback to each other rather than it necessarily needing to come from the manager. And then finally, some in the group were talking about sort of platforms that can enable sort of almost a bit of gamification, where people can request feedback, people can give feedback, maybe people get points, they can redeem the points for certain rewards, just as a way to really sort of engage that younger generation who want more sort of spontaneous input. And feel free to add anyone from the group, Prashant, etc., who, if I've missed anything. Thank you.
Okay, I see somebody added something. Okay. It was a pleasure, Terry. Thank you. And now I do believe, I know we did 3, and I think we did 4. So number 2, did anybody do scenario 2? Okay, did from the other groups that did the other ones, did y'all want to add anything, or did everything get covered? I'm opening the floor. That's what we do. Okay.
We took a look at number 4.
Okay. Yes.
Group 4 did line item 4, which when we broke it down, you're looking at values of each of those. There's quite a disparity in the values for each of those groups. And when we started to break down and talk about the scenarios that we've probably all experienced or seen within our organizations, is the importance of the open-ended questions with the millennial coming in, because one of the values for the boomer is that hierarchy-based, the merit. So trying to understand in the new structure what's going to be a value for them moving forward. And through that open-ended questioning, having that ability to sort of surface out what it is. And then if you start to look at the tool 4 with the succession planning matrix that you've talked about, utilizing that to then empower the boomer to still feel valued, and then coach through that process of then sharing that knowledge and working through that.
Yes.
So very brief summary, but I'm sure the other two on the team will be really keen to share, because they had some really good insights as well.
Okay. Very good. Very good. Team, anything else to share? Well, it
Nothing
sounds
to
like
add.
you. Please, please. Did I hear someone?
Yes, that was
Yes.
Chelsea. I said nothing to add.
Yes.
Over.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you, everyone, for working through this with me. I appreciate you. Did y'all enjoy this scenario? To kind of think about it. Puts it in context of what we were talking about, especially with the tools, right? Seeing how we can use the tools and really see how somebody might feel with the tools and how they could really break it down. So, with that being said, we got a little baby action plan, okay? And then we'll be wrapping all this up so y'all can hear from Renew, So now, what is one action that you can take in the next 30 days to bridge generational gaps? So here's some of the examples that I have while y'all thinking about it. Revise feedback practices. Create reverse mentoring pairs. And then pilot a flexible flexible scheduling. So what are some of the things that you can do as coaches, or what can you put in your coaching that you can do in the next 30 days to bridge a gap? Yeah, I see the wheels turning. I love it. Lead a team in the mapping activity. Yes, yes. Anything else? Sharon, yes. We like the mapping activity. Yay for the win. Very good. Also, we can add, and I'm gonna help y'all out, right? Yes, people like the mapping activity. So that was a win. Now, what else can we do? What about that inclusive language? We can add, yes, inclusion playbook. Yes, we can start adding that inclusive language in our coaching and modeling what it sounds like to them so they can start doing it, innately, right? Yeah, or doing role plays where you're using the inclusive language. And ask them how they felt when you use the inclusive language versus saying you young guys or you old guys or using the inclusive language, and see if it had a different feel to them. Yes. Different cultures present. Yes, that would be an extra game changer, right? This is good. Yes, inclusive language in group coaching. Yes. How does that feel? And I love group coaching, especially because they're always working on different things. So adding that initiative, yes, you're working with the same curriculum, but you have a different focus. So when you add that inclusive language into it, it shows how you can highlight it on different levels and how it can really be poured into your coaching or poured into that situation. Yes. Start the inclusive calendar. Yes, come on. I love that. Yes, yes, yes. And so, yeah, tendencies and similarities exist among all groups. That's true. So the mapping can work for any type of group. The succession planning can work with any type of group. The inclusive playbook, communication playbook can work with any type of group. We're just saying it here, but these are tools that y'all can take. Reverse mentoring can work with any group. These 4 tools can enhance your coaching right off the gate. So I want y'all to think about how y'all can use the tools, but then also when you're using the tools, think about how you're going to tailor it to your client. That's the goal. That's why we learned about the different generations, because it's a tailoring mechanism. Yes, people are different, but usually they fall into that branch. Okay. So it helps us tailor the tools to make it resonate better with them so they can get what? Their aha moment. So we're closing now. We talked about our generational landscape from a DIB lens. We talked about our tools of inclusion. We did our great breakout session. Thank you for all that shared and all participated. I appreciate you greatly. And then, of course, we had our action plan. What are we going to do in the next 30 days to enhance our coaching using these multi-generationals and our tools? I want to thank you so much for holding space with me today. I appreciate it greatly. I have taken away a lot from you as I hope you have taken from me. And if you would like to know me more or connect with me more, first off, join our DIB community and engage. I know some of us haven't clicked that engage button, but come on over. The water's fine. Okay, the water is fine. And you know, we're over here, so you need to join us. And so what we have over there, can I share? Jennifer's also going to share too. We have our Kaleidoscope group, that's our newest group. We also have our International Military Veterans group. That's the one that Ray New leads. Yay, Ray New. And then we have our BIPOC group. That's our Black, Indigenous, People of Color group. We also have our young professionals under 40. And then we have our persons with disabilities. We have some great neurodiversity programming there. Renew has been bringing some great programming in, and her team have been bringing in some great programming into veterans group. Our BIPOC group is getting ready to have a session on what you would like to see. And that's important, you know, really bringing it in there. And then, of course, we have our young professionals. They have really been bringing in social media, resume writing, how to market, how to network, things that you need to put your presence out there. And then our Kaleidoscope group, we're just getting ready to get started with their very first session. And Jen can put that link in there for us. And if you're coming to Converge, you can meet us all in person. We're going to have MRG sessions in person. So if you want to know about it, come on and join us there. Feel free to email me at deib@coachingfederation.org. Linked. I am a LinkedIn girl. That was my actual first social media platform. So I love, love, love it. come over there and connect with me there. And then the final thing I would like to invite you to, I am doing a State of DEIB presentation November 13th. Jennifer is putting that in the link there, I hope. And that's where I'm going to spend an hour and a half with you. And part of it's going to be me talking, and then part of it is you're going to be asking me questions about the state. So y'all get to ask me all your questions. So if you have some DEIB questions, want to know what we're doing, want to get involved, that is the time to come see me. So I'm interested in knowing what you want, and I'm interested in sharing where we have come from. So that is what we're going to get that day. So I hope to see you all in the room. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And now I'll turn it back to Rainu.
Okay, classic Zoom mishap. I think fantastic energy in the room. The way we started is how we're ending. Love the conversation, interactions, and it was truly a global cohort. Thank you to everybody who's joined us from different countries, different time zones. And I think that's what ICF does, right? It provides us a platform to get together, to share, co-create, and just grow together. And can't thank you enough, Dr. Finch. I think let today be a start to many such conversations, not just at ICF Pune, the other ICF chapters. And like you've shared, the ICF DEIB forums are available to all ICF global members. These are click to join. Please come in, join, and you will see tremendous value. I say that as one of the MRG leaders. There are phenomenal opportunities to grow, share, create. And every time you walk into those spaces, you will walk out with more insights, more awareness, and more learnings. So I'm going to give you back the gift of 3 minutes from today. Stay engaged and come back for more sessions.
Thanks,
Thank
everyone.
you,
Bye.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank
so
you.
much.
Thank you very much. Very helpful.
Thank you for
Thank
that,
you,
Will.
guys.
Thank you.
Amazing content. Well done. Thank you.
Thank you, Dominic. Thank you. I appreciate you.
Take care, everyone. Thank you so much, Dr. Finch. This was lovely. And thank you, Rena.
Thanks,
Thank you.
around.
Thank you so much.
Bye.
Thank you.